I guess it's 6 o'clock. Oh, yeah. Okay, I did click it at 6. It's 6:01 now. All right. Hello. Let's just bring this man's face on there at the beginning. Good afternoon. No, as mentioned, Crazy was brought up the liking the music that I have in the pre-stream stuff. And actually, I should play actual music. The background here. There we go. And the music, actually most of the stuff I use for any videos I do or anything is from this website. Thank you for the follow, Devil. Devil Never Cry. The reason I like this website is well, this is a specific song, but it's in Compotech, and all of it's free. And I don't just mean free as in it's free to listen to, it's free to use. So everything that's on here, thanks for the call, follow Cat Dog. I advertised on YouTube for the first time that I'm doing stuff, so I'm expecting a couple more people here. So thanks for coming if you have popped up. Oh, thanks, Jurassic. Yep, we need the derpy. So the cool thing with here is that you can just organize things really, really neat. So he lets you do it by mood. So actually, for the streams, the stream highlights, I usually go to humorous, and then I'll try to find something goofy, and because I like something in the background there. But all of this, so like say Funko-Rama, when you go to download, you just say choose free license, and then as long as you put this in your description somewhere, you are free to use this for Creative Commons purposes, which YouTube is a Creative Commons platform. So you could use things from here and monetize it. You're not selling a product. That's the important thing. So it's great. and a lot of it is really good stuff. It's not low quality. It's actually quality music. So I go through here all the time. He's got hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of songs on here. So if you need a Creative Commons type music, check this out. It's super, super useful. Well, thank you, Besto. We definitely need more derpy. So yeah, check that out for sure. Just make sure if you do that, do put that thing in the body. It's very specific about having to do that, but also they put work into this. So if that's what they need from you to share their work and to use their work, that's very little to ask. So I normally, anytime I find a good music song to use, I'll just put it up here, and that just lets me know that, so I can get that link for later. Yeah, I've been using this website for like 8 years. So yeah, so because I did advertise on YouTube, I don't want to like do spoilery stuff, but I do need a YouTube card for the new video. And by card, I mean like if you go to YouTube, like these little images, I need that. So I pulled 2 shots from the video that, and these are already locked down, that I feel would maybe have the potential to work, but I have to be, there's a couple of things you have to worry about with YouTube, like cards, the ones that you want to click. For one, the cards themselves are this big, but say I go to my subscriptions, they're tiny, they're small. So because of that, you have to think of whatever I put on here has to be big enough to be seen easily within that small of a format. And I'm using a 2K monitor, or usually, well, I guess I'm broadcasting in 1080 now, but normally I'm running a 2K monitor, so it can get pretty small. So I need to have something that's big enough, that stands out enough, and it's clickbaity. Yeah, everybody loves clickbait, but it's important to make sure that when people see something, that they're interested in clicking it. So that's why normally I started paying attention to this in the last couple of years. That's why a lot of this stuff is about doing some kind of a clickbaity type face. But normally I don't like giving things away. So I didn't like having this one here because it put the goofy face and it kind of gave a spoiler to what happened later in the video. But it is clickbaity compared to just her standing there, like calmly. It's the reason that I feel Australia, well, probably is one of the better things I've made. The picture for it doesn't portray a clickbaity type thing, and I've considered changing it for that purpose. Nothing about it interests you in clicking it. It looks like it would be boring. But if I did like her up in the air with like the one thing I was considering changing it to, I love talking about YouTube stuff because there's stuff you learn over time. Like, so for instance, if I were to grab I was thinking about grabbing this shot right here, because that would be clickbaity. So, but to me, it doesn't represent the video. And so this is the one I kind of took a hit on, where I made it because I wanted to make it, and I did that. I don't need anything more from it. Or how many views it gets doesn't matter to me. So that's why a lot of these have very close-up faces that are detailed, high contrast, easy to see, and that's important. So it's the same thing here. So if I did like this as a screenshot, as a card, it'd be then shrunk down to like this, and there's no detail. You'd be missing stuff on it. So it's important to make it so that you can see stuff. So the video is going to be called Rocket Surgery, I think. And so I'm trying to, I want to put a rocket in there, but I don't know how to do it without making everything feel off. I feel like I can maybe like, because I don't have to have the exact scenes or anything. I can move this wherever I want. Oh, that's why it's not working. So maybe I can move it like, because I mean, this is pretty obvious that that's a rocket. What's the most zoom I can do on here without it getting weird? Oh, that's pretty good, actually. Let me get rid of the floor. That's actually not too bad. I mean, I'll change the lighting up. I might get rid of this hatch, though, because that's too much extra detail. But I think that actually could work. I did the other shot in there just in case, because if you want a stupid face, that actually kind of works. It's a good stupid face. But I like kind of this idea, because then it's like it's a big twilight pointing at a rocket. Because I think some of them I might even just try making a couple and putting them on there and then seeing how they look in a small format. Because it just sometimes I don't know. And why I should look more in the cam. Yeah, I'll have her. I definitely will have her turned more towards the cam. I'm just kind of getting a general idea for things. I'm definitely going to clean up the backgrounds, this stuff. But I kind of like that. I can't really make the rocket bigger because if I do, then it just stops being a rocket. Oh, and status on the video, it's basically done. Well, SFM's portion is basically done. I tweaked a couple things, and I think I figured out what I want to do. All I have to do is finish half of one very small piece, and then I just have to finish the last of the renders. So it's actually, I should have it done in a couple days, but it'll probably be like a week before I'll put it out. A little over a week. My plan is to have it out a week from Friday, so the 21st. Why so long away? Because I put it on Patreon first. So if I finish in a couple days, I'll put the live stream highlights out on Friday. I'll finish the video probably over the weekend, and then have it out on Patreon at like Saturday or Sunday, and then I'll let that sit there until Friday. Friday's the best day to release YouTube videos. I could show you even why, but most people start watching, or the video watching ramps up on Fridays, peaks on Saturday, drops a little bit on Sunday, and then crashes on Monday. And so if you have somebody with, say, like 500, 600 subs, you know, a huge number of subscriptions, every day they're going to get this large amount of new videos to watch. And so if you put your content out on when they're not watching stuff, it's going to get buried by the time they get to it. So you put it out on the day that it's on their feed when they're going to potentially watch at least a higher number, which is Friday. So I'll put it out in like 8 a.m. on Friday morning, and then I'll have 3 days that I'm sitting towards the top of feeds. 21st is my last day of work. It'll be great to see some fun animation celebration. Well, last day of work, hopefully for good reason. Are you changing jobs, or? So I don't need the transformer. That's not needed. Science stuff, this isn't needed either. It's just outside the shot. It always bugs me when I have hidden folders here. I want to keep the hatch here. So I'm gonna keep it, the hatch itself, but I'm going to just close it. Oh, this one doesn't have the replaced texture. I could find it. I have one that I removed the Half-Life symbol on. But I like having that door still there because it maintains continuity. I'm only locking that temporarily. I need to move these out of the way. There. Quitting before university starts up again. Oh, well, okay, so it was like a summer job type thing. What are you going to school for? Also, if anybody likes the music that I'm playing in here, there's a playlist below the stream that you can jump to and start from the top, and that's what I'm doing. So, I need materials. This is a rocket. There's got to be one. What did I name it? No Lambda, that's what I would name it. Also, I do have a fan running. Let me know if there's any noise. I thought it didn't look like there was, but... Oh, thank you for the follow, Ovalenor. I mean, I know I butchered that, sorry. That did... Oh, I know that didn't work. There we go. Yep, alright, it's out clean. Doesn't have the handle on there, but whatever. No fan is in you don't want fan, or fan is in you don't hear it. It's one of those quiet fans, so it's nice. But it's nice out today, but it was also loud. There was like, so I shut the windows and then it got hotter. Don't hear it, good. This is, I'm catching up. Computer science, thought it would be fun, but my God, it suck at it. When I went to college, I started computer science too. I did my community college for like 3.5 years. I spent a long time getting my 2-year degree, and then I went to a larger university and to get computer science. And I found that I like working on computers, but computer science is a lot of hardware software mix. It's a lot of like very much more computer stuff than I was looking to actually go into. And so I figured out I really picked the wrong one. I should have went into IT, which is what I ended up dropping out of that college for other reasons and going back to a private college and finishing it an IT degree, mainly for web development, which is an industry I never went into, which I'm kind of glad I didn't, because it wouldn't have been that fun for me. But I still have fun with it as a hobby. And it's the knowledge that I got from that helped me get my current job. Yeah, aerospace, good luck with that. I work at an aerospace company. And oh my God, some of the science. Thankfully, I don't do the aerospace or any of that science portion. I'm quality, but yeah, that's some complicated stuff. So I wish you the best. Which I didn't know I wanted to do in it when I came to post-secondary, so I chose something that I thought I would like. You know, that's what you do. Like, I didn't like the computer science portion of it, but I still found this stuff interesting. But when I did the IT thing, it was stuff I enjoyed at least. But I didn't see that I would enjoy working in the industry, and it was. But the knowledge that I gained from that helped me find a niche area within a different job that lets me utilize that knowledge. So while I work in quality, I end up actually serving as their IT, where I do a lot of their SharePoint system creation, development type stuff, because the IT department is great where I work, but they're overloaded with trying to help everybody. So I kind of am the niche little person that helps within a different department. So it's actually great. I love my job. But yeah, good luck with that. There's one guy that was sitting next to me that was talking about, he was taking a class about explosives and going into like this whole path about like having to calculate debris upon explosion and like calculating trajectories and stuff, and it was just like, I'm just gonna go poke it. I'm gonna go use Excel. I'm not doing that. I don't mind math, but not that kind of math. But it is a good paying career choice, and there's sadly always a need for it, and so it's not a bad choice. There's people I work with that have been there their entire life, 50, 60 years, and they never retire. They're there at 80 years old, and they just keep going. It's nuts. They just love what they do. Okay, let's figure out what lights I don't need. Oh, I don't need these anymore. Anything I delete is just going to make it more efficient. I can get rid of this too, because, well, I'll keep it just in case. Who knows, I might figure out that this doesn't work. Also, as with most streams, if you have a question about SFM, how something works, you want to see me open up a previous video that I've done, go into something in detail, describe the process behind something, or you just want to see the stupid things I did in it, just let me know. Point of the stream is to help out people in a larger sense, so it's easier to do that than one-on-one. So if you have a question, it's priority, so don't be afraid to ask. I just work on stuff when I have nothing else to do in that time. Okay, so I definitely have to change some of the lights here. I want to do... So this is the light that's coming across her face from here. Which of these lights are not hitting her? Those I'm going to have to keep. Those I'm going to keep. That one is, this one isn't. Was an interior door follow-up? Whatever. And that was for a different shot. Okay. No, it's not visible either. Okay. So I think I'm going to poke at the rocket a little bit. I think what I want to do is I want to have it, I need to have it pop from the background. So I think what I need to do is put some rim lighting right around the edges just to have it pop out. Even though that's not really how it works in the final video, it's still important. Especially, oops, I do not want to open the particle viewer. I want to open a secondary. I thought I cropped the video a little bit, but apparently I didn't. I changed the webcam settings a little bit, and I am planning to change up my the stream setup quite a bit in the next couple, maybe like weeks or month. Put a little bit more investment into it. I do that still. Hello, Bloodless. Seems nobody else is commenting. No, they are. We're having a conversation. Talking about schooling. Seems so long ago. But I was in college for... I started college after I was when I was 18, and then... Or was it 19? I was 19. I was... Because I was like the older verge of high school. I went to 2-year college for 3.5 years. Then I went to... Finished my 2-year degree, went to computer science school at a public university for 1.5 years, dropped out, then went and worked in trucking for like 3 years. Yeah, it was about 4 years. I think it was about 3 years, and got fed up of just working trucking, so I went back to college for about 1.5 years of at a private college to finish an IT degree, but I started this channel at the same time that I was in the middle of that degree. So I was doing full-time online college, a full-time job, and I started YouTube. That was my life. I had those 3 things, and I barely did anything else. Sound notification, never click so fast. Well, welcome. Appreciate you being here. I say hello. Oh yeah, hello, Devil Never Cry again. I have a question. How often does SFM on you? I'm asking you because I'm trying to get SFM. I'm not sure. I'm just asking because I'm trying to get SFM. Are you talking? I'm not sure on that the actual question there. How often do I use SFM, or how often do because I'm reading that as like how often does it crash? So I could tell you like every 5 minutes, but if you're getting into if you're just getting into SFM, I would I have thousands of hours in the software. It's stupid. Crashing. Yeah, I can go to that too. Where's my time? Why is my profile so simple? What have you done? Nothing loading on there, apparently. Well, but it says here, I have a lot of hours. There it goes. And so in terms of learning, it's not that long, but it takes a while. But in terms of crashing, no, it hasn't crashed yet. Give it time. If it doesn't crash in the stream, we're lucky. It depends. I crash more often than normal. and it's not because like I'm pushing the software more or anything. There's a couple of main reasons why SFM would crash. Sometimes you get like a bad model and it just doesn't know what to do, so it'll crash. I've one time had it where like I didn't override over here, and normally I would just, when you create one with an integer, it'll just default with 0 in there. For some reason it didn't, and because it left no number in there, it actually was a memory leak, and it was causing me to crash constantly. Like it would wait about 10 minutes and it would crash, and it took me a good like 2 hours to dig out that specific field causing that issue, and when I filled it with a 0, then it was fine. But I can't really blame that. They just didn't put in a protection for it. The main reason I crash, and I think the main reason most people crash, is if you go to like load any model. So if you say create animation set for model, it's going to start loading a library, and you're going to see this number go, and I can't remember the number that most people start with. It's probably like 16 or 18,000. I've over time just added a lot of models, thousands of models, and so I get up to like 46,000 on here, and that's with the stuff shut off. But SFM is a 32-bit software, meaning that it can only address so many things. And so when you load up a model, it's loading the model, and it's addressing the model, and it's addressing all the textures. If I load up an audio library, it addresses all those. So the next time I go to load this library, it'll be much quicker. But the problem is that I'll use the same like library numbers. So if I load a library like this, and then I close, and then I go and load another library. Like say I load in I go in down here, and I say load a dialogue, add clip to track. It's going to start loading that. I have so much crap in SFM that I'll hit that library limit and it'll crash. So I can never have more than one library open at a time. So now that I've opened the model library, I know that if I need to do audio, I have to close the software and reopen it, because I know it's going to crash. But the trade-off is, if I want to stop that, I have to get rid of a lot of the models I have. I don't want to do that. I like having the models. I did have an issue where I had so many models that it would just crash by loading that individual library. That was an issue. And there's a nifty little way in SFM where I can go into the files here and... It's a text file. And I can disable games. That's why these ones that have a little slashes in front of it, they're just disabled. So it means that they aren't loading, and therefore it's not pulling that in and taking library space. I had to disable those purposely. But you're not going to have that issue. But it does mean, though, you can undo all the way back to your very first action in SFM. Meaning that every time you push a button or move your mouse or do certain things, it's building up in the background, this like list of actions. Eventually, if you have a very large session, it will build up enough that you'll run out of memory. So every couple hours, I'll still refresh it just in case. That was a long explanation. So let me go back here. I just on the schedule. Red memory right now. It's red memory because this save file that I'm using was from the video save file. I just created a different save, like I named it pick. And if you give it time, it'll eventually like purge memory in the background of stuff that's not loaded. That's why, like right here, it's still saying 83 items in audio, even though there's nothing in there. So. It'll clear itself out. It'll probably drop it down into white eventually. Funny thing is, at S2FM, the new version that came with Alex, that's still buggy but works kind of. It still gets red at like the 26 or 2700 megabytes of memory usage, but it doesn't crash because it's 64-bit software. So I can go up to like 6,000. I loaded in hundreds of unique models and got it to like 8,000 megabytes, and it still was running fine. But it was in the red way past the normal point. It was really weird. How about an orange underglow from the rocket? Could work to stand out. I'm probably going to make it whiter, but I still want to try to keep it, at least color-wise, similar to what the video has it as. Which in the original video, I actually, in post-editing, any shot that had twilight in the laboratory type setting, I actually did a blue haze over everything and kind of played with the saturation a little bit, because to me that separates it from all the other stuff. So I don't want to add any orange in here because I feel like orange would detract from that. I can understand the meaning for it. Add a nice high contrast between an orange and a blue, but it's mainly about being bright and just a high contrast between the light and the dark areas. Also, one of the things I've been doing is, I probably won't do it here, is cut objects of focus out from the background and like blur the background heavily, or desaturate it so that they stand out much more. Here, basically it kind of works that way because everything behind them is gray anyway, but I'll do that too. Oh yeah, and just a DigiChip, yeah, and hello. So SFM2 is 64-bit. So you can open up SFM2 right now. If you have Half-Life Alyx, thank you for the follow, Sugar Blue. If you have Half-Life Alyx, I think you have to download under Tools. I'm trying to remember some of this. So I'm pretty sure you had to download something first, and I can't remember what it is. But when I go, I wonder if I can open this up kind of at the same time. I don't want to click it because I don't know what it's going to do, but when you open it, you can actually go into the mod tools, and inside the mod tools is the new Source 2 mod environment, and one of the buttons is SFM. If you open that up, it will open up SFM in Source 2. It's really cool, but it at the same time doesn't work for my needs yet. Mainly the flexes and the faces. So like on Twilight here, how I can like open up her mouth and stuff, the flexes don't port right. You have to go through this really arduous process that we don't fully understand right now. Not really worth it. So the models can be ported, but then they're just kind of no expression. Plus everything would have to be ported. All the models had to be ported and converted. None of the models as of right now, there's no public tool for converting models from Source 1 to Source 2. So it's arduous, and it's just not worth it right now. But once it is, the lighting is superior. It doesn't crash as often. It runs way better. The tools for modeling and texturing and everything are just much more efficient and nice working. And the hammer is 16 years old. That's even better. There's too much stuff from this arrow I can't take anymore. Please stop. Sorry. I'm getting a new purple laptop, and I've been watching SFM animations for years, including yours, so I think it would be a fun hobby. Though the fun thing about SFM is it's free, so I mean, there's no harm in giving it a shot. Almost all the models are free too, so well, all the models are free. Only time they're not going to be is usually if you want some custom one done that doesn't exist, and so you're commissioning somebody to do it. And if you are, then they should be paid for their work. There's a lot of animator or modelers in the community that have put a lot of time and into the community and learned a lot and gotten pretty good, and they should be rewarded for their work. Otherwise, if they're just a free public one, go ahead and use it. Yeah, see, this stands out now. It's so much easier to see it. Does one of the birds in the background die right now? Or what's happening there? One of the birds. Don't know what birds you're talking about. It's a rocket. But nobody dies. Well, no, one person dies in this video. Wait, no. Actually, a lot of people die. I forgot. There's a shot called Everybody Dies. So yeah, there's a lot of people die. I'm sorry. Off shot, though. So that doesn't count. I don't think you need Half-Life Alyx to run S2FM. You just need Steam VR. Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. I've used it through that, and you probably don't have access to the same models and stuff without it. And being able to open up a lot of the maps in Half-Life Alyx or from Half-Life Alyx are pretty useful. Yeah, there is a huge barrier for access. Hopefully, well, eventually they'll make it work better. But I originally was worried that they might just like abandon it completely, but the fact that it exists with a button and like custom tools within it that are specific to engine just gives me hope that they will get it there eventually. Oh, if you're talking about some birds in real life, yeah, there is some. There's like a crow. That's why I shut this window. I have another one over there though that's open. Okay, yeah, if I can kill them, I will. All I have is like knives though, and I don't think my neighbors would like me like throwing kitchen knives over in their lawn. But that would be kind of funny. Alright, I'm gonna turn Twilight a little bit here so she can get a little bit more in a shot. Can I get her? Because right now her hoof is clipping the rocket. If I could, oh no, I think it'd actually be better if it does. Let me put her down a little bit. She's kind of getting the swan look, which I don't like, and that being, it's cutting off right at the shoulder. So I prefer cutting here or here, but positioning wise, I think I'm gonna have to go swan. Yeah, that's fine. Help, he has a knife in the window attacking Mr. Crow. Well, and if you do that, I have to be wearing a bathrobe at the same time and screaming really loud. Oh, my hair is not messed up enough. I can probably find a way to do that. I don't even own a bathrobe. Could I just like duct tape some towels together and call that a bathrobe? Isn't that kind of what a bathrobe is? It's all a bathrobe is just a large towel. Alright, right now she's serious. Should she be serious? Or should we like have her go with like smiling or something? Because I feel like it'd be more clickbaity if she was smiling. I'll just clear this out right now. And I don't have right now the one with the extreme facial expressions. I can bring that one in if I need, but it's a process, so I'd rather not. I feel like I might have to, though. There's not many options for making her smile better on this one, but the other one has tons. Yeah, I'm thinking so, too. All hail the mighty friendship doomsday rocket. Hello, Moon. The moon when there's a stream on your birthday. Well, happy birthday! Unless you're talking about a different stream on a different day, but that would be weird. Maybe it's the grin and the big grin sliders. Oh no, that's different. I mean, you get teeth that are detaching from the jaw. Like, hello. There we go. Oh, we can do. Well, you know what? Let's just do them all. Okay. Maybe not. We can bring in the other Twilight model. It just takes a little bit of time. But I think it would be a better end product, so we'll do that. So what that means is the hair that she's using in this model is specific to this model. So if I wanted to use a different Twilight, I have to keep the hair but replace the rest. So to do that, I want enhanced. Revamped is not the one I'm looking for. Could you? No, her ears are different than that. That would be weird. Enhanced ponies. This one. Hello, Twilight. Just a black eye. So this one has a lot more options. Okay. So what we're gonna do Name this one old. Anal about that. Okay, and then okay. So to replace this now, it's about just hiding textures essentially, and then I have to watch it in some shadows. So first, I'm gonna copy this one, paste it into this one. They're just about the same now. But since I want to replace the model, I'm gonna turn off her hair. So now I got the other one's hair. But now there's all the worry about some of the other textures that are involved. So it's about getting rid of or hiding all that stuff. So this one, I need to hide all the textures that apply to stuff that I don't want seen. So in this case, I do not want... So alpha is about transparency. Bam. Then it gets creepy, but that's fine. I do not want the teeth. I do not want the tongue. Sorry, my mouse gets stuck. All right. I do not... She doesn't have the coat. I don't want the eyelashes. And... I do not want the horn. This model doesn't have the ability to shut them off. I have to do this to get rid of them. And tail. I can just shrink. And also I don't like her wings. So these I'll just like there. Okay. Now I go, oh, and then I think that's it, actually. Oh, one last thing. I have to take her head, and I have to move it back ever so slightly so the eyes don't clip. Wait, not that head. This head. Picture my saying, all hail mighty Friendship Tuesday rocket. Yes. What do you guys think Wednesday for? Oh, that actually does remind me. I am streaming me, Adam the Amazing, Mike, who's, I think he's voting right now, actually, who's normally sits right here, and Obinum. We're going to be streaming Halo 3 Legendary tomorrow. We assume that we're going to do really, really badly, but it will be funny. Word. So, just a heads up on that. Eyes are different. That's weird. Yeah, this one has the cartoonier eyes, and I like those more. So we're going to grab those. But eyes are goofy to steal, because this is called eyeball left. I don't even know why I went in here, because it really doesn't matter. Oh no, I need this part. So eyeball is the white part of the eye. I want the pupil. So I'm going to grab this, and we're actually going to go iris. Oh, sorry, my mouse. If your mouse is in the viewport, it doesn't let you hit certain keys. And paste pupil. Oh, I can't remember the name of these. Medium? A pupil left medium. Perfect. She's a little bit tipsy. We'll fix you, Twilight. Just gotta give me a sec. There we go. See, fixed. So So on the schedule, will probably be there. Yeah, if you come, it's great. We're planning to just like we've been playing Halo recently anyway, but the Halo Blurred, and it's been we're not doing skulls, no. We assume that we're probably going to fuck with each other a lot, and so if we turn on skulls, we're just going to never get anywhere. Not even birthday party. Well, would have been your daddy, and yeah, we could put a birthday party. Yeah, for sure. Because that one's kind of funny, but like daddy's got to be on too. That sounds weird when I say that out of context. Happy Twiggles. Should play the Cursed Halo mod. No, we're not gonna play any mods. We're just gonna play it vanilla. It's just easier that way. Okay, now that I have Twilight in a position where I can do more with her. Okay. Well, we went from before her being like kind of angry to now she's just kind of like having an existential crisis. This is like she realized she left her book at home. She's like, oh God, my book. No. Okay, let's actually like make her. I kind of like a little bit angry, and yeah, we'll do that for now. She's very angry. No, Blur, don't clip Daddy. You're a bad person. What used SFM2? Alex, I think, is the main one right now. That I know of. There might be other stuff. Well, there's some games that use like early versions of it. I believe Dota uses Source 2, but I think it was like an earlier version of, and I thought something else did too. No, that's not the look I'm going for. Okay, so we have, I know, these wide smiles. Okay, that's a little bit too much. And that just has her face eating itself. I kind of like that. It's just like, ah. Oh, we'll back that off a little bit. And you could almost like go... Oh, wait, no, maybe not. Never mind. It's a little bit too much. I think I want to go angry, but with a smile. Well, that's not even. That's just. I don't know what that is. Keep your teeth in your mouth. I think shut'll work. Maybe just less of it. Oh, is there another one on here? Or maybe do. Curve is always one of my favorites. Whoa. See, some people can do the tongue, like the tongue twist thing. She can do it with her lips. It's very skilled. No. I feel like there needs to be more pullback. I don't know, there's a vision in my head I have of what I want. Kind of like that. Maybe I can just move the jaw down. I think that actually might work. Let's put the nose up a little bit and... Let's get some angry eyebrows there too. You know what I realized is this one shot I did. I put this model in, and I don't think I did anything with the eyebrows. And that's not a problem, but I probably shouldn't just have them floating there. Reminds me of the bloopers too. Yeah, well, because half those bloopers are me doing stupid faces. Why are you bullying me? No, she's just telling him to get his ass on the rocket. Yeah, more. I hate eyebrows. I despise working with them. They add a lot of nice emotion to things, but they're just a whole nother layer of complexity of stuff you have to add if you want to do things right. Like even like right now with the eyes, to me the normal like angry doesn't actually work right. If you want to do that, you have to grab like the eyes and you have to kind of do a little bit of positioning yourself. So if you do that, yeah, to me that creates the actual like flat line that you'd want. And then like if you're doing sad, you can go back a little more, but for like this one, I probably actually curve it a little bit more this way. I'd like doing that for pictures. For video, it's hard because then I always forget that I did that, and then I'm screwed because like later down the line, now if I go to, if I grab the face here and I try to do 0 and then eye closed, you're gonna have these like weird gaps because you like rearranged them, and I always forget I did that. Yeah, I noticed that when playing around, I end up using the happy stuff to make an annoying face, or annoyed face. Yeah, just because it's happy doesn't mean that it's always about being happy. Should I move her glasses back? No, actually they're about as far back as I'm gonna get. Let's fix her eyes a little bit here too. So she has main lights. So this is probably for light coming in from a specific side that's not actually working. Horse. Yes, it is a horse. I can't like pulling her eyes out like that. Yeah, I think this will actually work really well now that it's coming together. I think that one's fine as it is. So these are done because the lighting in SFM can't really separate lights on the eyes. So I want to have the pupils have like a glow to them that they don't have otherwise, and that's what this is. Because the eyes to me are a wet surface, so they should be reflecting the light off from other surfaces that you wouldn't get otherwise. Happily annoyed? What did you do to my rainbow dash? The sunglasses, they don't fit. You broke her. What did you do to her? She's... It looks like she's like this one's caught on her nose. No, don't crush her too. Why do you do this? She did nothing to you. See, you guys are just being mean. God, you forgot. Why can't you use glow map for the eyes? Well, you can create lights that only hit the eyes. You just The difficulty part, thank you for the follow, Harpy. The difficult part with doing that, don't poke her either, is it doesn't, like when an eye pupil is moving on top of a, like the pupil is moving on top of the eye, there's nothing that ties a light to be looking right at the pupil. Because of that, if I have eye motion going on, I want to have this glow, which is what I'm doing right now, and this glow works because I am very much, you can see in the eye there, I'm very much right in the center of it. Anything outside of that, I'm going to start glowing on the edges and it gets weird. So I have to be right in the middle. Well, I like having her pupils move a lot. So when her eyes close or she changes look, I have to have this light follow with. And that takes a lot of manual work. It's worth putting the effort into. I actually, the first time I started doing that was in Remembrance here. I had finished the video and then I realized that the eyes just look bland. So I went back and redid all the lighting to add in lights to the eyes. That was the first time I did that on here and it changed everything. It like here, being able to light this one more to actually show that there's a much brighter light source from that side. Or when Twilight's walking up here, being able to have this nice like reflection of light that's coming across here, you couldn't get that otherwise. Otherwise, it would be bland and flat. Or one of my favorite uses was right here. Oops. It's subtle. But if you actually look, since there's light reflecting or coming around her in circles, there's actually reverse light going down the middle of her pupil to show the reflection of that light. And it's very, very subtle, but you can see a light actually pulsing upwards and around. And that was to try to show that reflection of it going around in reverse or opposite. And I love that kind of stuff, putting them in those little details. But it is a lot of work. It took me hours to add that into there, but it was something that without it, it didn't feel, it felt missing and lacking. So I just had to. So yeah. I am doing well, Harpy. How are you doing? Oh, I don't have to ask. You're doing pretty good. That's good. I'll follow with Herp. Fantastic. We're working on the preview picture, not more parts of it. No more scope creep.
I've heard that before. Makes me happy. I'm simple.
Yes. One for little derpy. We should have it be that the amount changes the size of the derpy. I can do that. Make a little derpy. Or every time it comes from Michael, that is tiny.
Well.
Alright, so the mouth is fine. Oh no, actually, you know what? If the mouth's like this, her...
I did share the food. I shared it with him. Not this food, this food's mine.
Her tongue would actually be up here and then bent down a little bit. Like that. Does that seem better? I think so. Yeah, we're gonna go with it.
She looks angry.
Hmm?
She looks angry at that rocket. She's just like, who parked our rocket here?
Yeah, get it off my lawn.
Yes.
My metal lawn.
You don't know.
Yeah, right now it's just about playing with some of the lighting and getting it in nice high contrast. I'm considering just shutting off all of Twilight's lights and redoing them all, but then I feel like it might change the shots too much. So I think what I'm going to do instead, I think 10 more for Michael.
All the derp. This stream would be nothing but derpies.
Where is... Okay, so this is the one on her side there. So this one Is there two on this side? Oh, so this is the main one. This is causing kind of that main glow. And this is that rim light. Okay, that's fine. That's actually what I was kind of looking for. So we're going to bring this one around a little bit more. I think. And then we're going to pump that light up. Yeah, I want it coming from underneath. So we'll do that, and then we'll pump this one up a little bit more. I want her to definitely stand out more, but I want to create some nice shadows in the front because I still wanted to have her be like she's in a darker room. I think should I just keep it around here?
I'm just imagining after Twilight became Princess, he started reallocating funds to this project, and it's like, well, we had to slash the school, the transportation budgets, the social services budgets, and all the money went into this program called science stuff? What is this?
It was just science, but it's spelt wrong. It says since.
Yes. Just a horrible misappropriation.
Hold on. Oh no, I can't. I don't think I can do that from here. No, wait, can I? Ha! I can. Never mind. Okay. I was wondering if I could do that from Streamlabs. Because it won't let me whisper people, but let's me do that. Sure. Well, no, and hey, if they're a bot that comes on here and is just saying "Have a nice day," fine, they can stay. I'm not gonna ban them.
No bot discrimination.
And well, yeah, well, no, okay. They can say, "I hope you have a nice day." If they just tell me to have a nice day, they're not gonna tell me what to do. This ain't no like. This is how Skynet started. Is they started telling everybody what to do. It starts with "Have a nice day" and then it's murder. So we're gonna stick with them being optional.
Not true. If you ever tell him to have a nice day, apparently it's a threat. So just
You tell me what to do, punk. Kick your ass.
just immediately just somebody come up to you and be like, "Have a nice day," and it's like, "Don't tell me." And just start attacking them and get them before they get you. Oh no!
Yeah, what if I wanted to have a bad day? No, you just ruined it.
Ruined your bad day.
Where's this
I had a
looking?
good
Oh, there it
day.
is. That's nifty.
It was exhausting. It was good.
I don't know if I like the idea of having the light come in from here.
He's gonna die an old man as a rebellious teenager. Blur. Who he is.
You can't tell me what to do. You're not my real Blurred. Now I'm wondering if I actually put like the light like this. It actually will create a better contrast and a bigger contrast between her and the background. So it keeps things bright looking, but not. I kind of like that. Look at the only bird. I think you're blurred. See, no, you got your name wrong, which means you're probably a bot.
Makes sense to me.
Blurred a bot, isn't that actually that? I think isn't that what your bot name is on your Twitch? Isn't it Blurred a bot or something like that? Yeah, that's what I thought. It's very versatile. Oh, you know what actually would work too? In the background, these little like floaty thingers. It's a scientific term. could use some of this light coming up. So these are actually two different sets of models, one in front of the other. They're essentially the same thing, but one was hollow. So this one you can see it has it go through with this piece, and then another one behind it. But they're the same thing, it's just one has the transparent pieces, which made it perfect. I just layered them. I layered them, locked them to a central object. Yeah, this right here. And positioned them out at a certain distance. And then I just copied it, spun it 180 degrees, and then did that over and over and over again with lots and lots of the middle models until I basically made an entire sphere, or not sphere, circle.
Worked out really good.
But we can do though, because that, it actually, these are all 3Ds. So back here, I don't think we need the catwalks in here. Nope. Where's the visible part though? Oh, it's right here. There we go. But now I can do some cool stuff with the lighting. Oh, that's why. So I don't want to have it be light all the way up. But like you can do something like that. No, maybe that doesn't even work. Wait, this needs shadows on. Ah, oh, that's better. That's what I was looking for. There's my rockets right there. So let's see if I kind of aim it at it. How much time did you need to make this set done for the real animation? It was so long ago that I don't remember. Because the set itself is a lot bigger than this. Because I deleted the floor, but like because it stretches like all the way to here to here to here to here, and the whole thing was built with what I needed. But then I had to change it because like the rocket popping in the wall was added later, so I had to modify the setup to make it work. But I built that whole thing, and that took me probably a couple days. But then each shot is lit differently. That's where I think the biggest amount of time spent comes in, because if I come and view it from this angle, you're going to light things one way. But you can see like I have those strong rim lights and different things from the different angles. But if I go and change the camera to over here, because I have a shot from up here, I can't light this the same. I have to change all the lights and everything to make it look the same, but now everything is rimmed different in different angles and different positions. And that takes the most amount of time of every time I change the camera, I have to go and change all the lighting. But that's also why at the very, very beginning, I go and make the whole area that I'm going to work in. Leaving the stable was one that the entire video scene build, every single piece of everything until she gets outside is one continuous piece. So her room is connected to a hallway that goes down a stairs and all the way around the corner that connects to the I can actually show you. I don't know if it'll probably crash. But it's nifty because I put way more effort into the continuity for that video than I needed to.
It's always kind of been the comment and a lot of watching you make these videos. We just spend about 30% of the time.
Well, thanks for the subscription, freaking. Thanks for the freaking subscription. No, I appreciate it. That's great. Thank you.
You always spend about 30% of the time animating and the other 70% doing lighting.
My favorite part of video making is scene building and lighting, and if it's in a low light environment, I like it way more. because there's just so much you can do with low lighting environments where high lighting environments, you're basically just like shoving lights everywhere. And I think the biggest thing with highlights or just very bright scenes with SFM is I usually have to deal with distance then, because you have to show things further away, and that gets difficult. Night shots, you just kind of like have everything fade into obscurity. And I like that.
Just watch do a drinking game.
I appreciate it.
Yes.
Hello, Shadow. You are now Argo's friend.
I am.
Do you know what Kyle used to be called? Workout guy.
Why was he workout guy? Because you just do push-ups randomly?
No, because he would come over and we would usually, like, after some of the streams, go to the gym or the gym at the apartment or the workout room. So and he'd always just bring up that. So he was workout guy.
I worked out yesterday. Can I be workout guy?
No.
As I sit and eat chicken.
No, chicken's fine as long as you're not like I just brought home 4 Big Macs. So this is gonna. I don't think I have any shots left that have the entire scene build. No, I don't. Well, maybe. I do.
I just thought of an amazing drinking game. Watch Argo's videos, and anytime you see a model with rim lighting, take a shot. And then after you're done...
That's every shot.
Call poison control.
Alright, so this is the entire video, everything, in one shot. Because I built all this beforehand. So, this shot, ignore the doors that are kind of sideways. Thanks, Dick, for the follow. Appreciate it. Rambo Dash salutes you. I can't turn on the lighting because the lighting is also broken down by area, and I might be able to. I just can't remember which of these is which. Well, thank you, Ernest, for the follow. Suit. Should I just start doing that now? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do the lights. So this was for the trailer, and I love the trailer I made for this. I was really happy with it. And so this actually goes down. I don't know why I put a cap at the end. So this just goes, there's nothing in there, it's just empty. And it goes down here, and you go down this hallway, and this is Pip's room. So Pip is at the end of an empty hallway with no friends. So, thanks for the follow, Ego.
Like
this one I can actually turn the lights on for. Because this is for Pip's room specifically. So this is the full room for her. And the nice thing about doing a scene build like this was I had to like delete the walls randomly for different shots, and I can show you that in a sec. But this one also has the hall lights. So those had, well, kind of. Some of these lighting I had to do more specific to each. This was whatever. So, yeah, poor little Pip. Wait, so you didn't just copy the map from Fallout 3? No, because again, like I said, I can delete pieces from this, and I didn't want to. I wasn't making the exact one. I wanted to make it unique and different, and have it fit with stuff. I definitely tried to replicate a lot of what Fallout 3 did with the some of the stuff, but not with all of it. But I'll get down there. So this is Pip's room, and then if you go down from Pip's room,
I want to tell you my favorite part about Pip's room is the toaster.
Oh yeah.
Because I know the reference.
Yeah. Well, then I put down here Dean's Electronics and Tumblers Today. So it's just references, but you don't even see those. Mm-hmm. And there was a shot that I had for the trailer again that also came in from here. But if you go down the hall here, and you go down here and around the corner, then this is the vault. So this is how it's set up, but it's different than what you actually see in the video. So there is a shot where I have the camera from this corner right here, and the camera comes around here, and to see her coming out from that corner. So when it shows her come in here, this is where the door is for the vault. If you go straight in, it's straight into this place. But if you, how I did it was she went from this angle to seeing it straight here. I actually have it cut there where I did a render and I just masked it when I was in the middle of this door, to mask the camera moving between those two shots because I liked the transition, but I wasn't able to actually make it work that way. So I just did it in editing. Is FOE Forge of Empires? No, it's Photo Question. I'm only getting into FOE, started reading it about a week ago at a steady pace. It's good. It's a classic. It is.
I mean,
it is the To Kill a Mockingbird of our community. But no, it is really good, and there's a bunch of good spin-off stories. But I just like that the story was written in such a way that they picked such a very small, narrow piece of a much larger universe that was built. So it just allowed people to play in it. It was great. But in here. So this is the one I tried to make it look as close as I can to the original. A lot of these are like Lego pieces. They're giant segment pieces to put together, but all these boxes are basically in the same position that Fallout 3 had them. But I had to add a terminal because she talked about typing in a code, and ignore that this is on the ground. But there's no typing here. So I had to add a computer that she could type it into. So that's why there's a little computer there. This was not a model that had bones. I had to go through, export it, add the bones, add all the animation because it just didn't exist.
Wow.
And I'm kind of happy with how that turned out.
I didn't know that. I thought it was already rigged.
Nope, I had to do it all. So I had to watch. I was watching meticulously how it moved to try to copy it exactly. But again, I get to that in a sec. So then you go out here, and I had to try to build a story here. Like there's a family with their dead children, and this guy that was up to the last moment was trying desperately to get in. People that were literally with their hands to the door trying to get in. I tried to make a story out of it. This guy was crawling and barely made it to that step. This guy just, I don't know, he got lazy.
He got lazy and died.
So then this comes up to the cellar, and this cellar had a lot of detail that was never in the video, like way back here and over here. These walls are gone because the camera goes back there. And then this was just to show that it was collapsed partially because you wouldn't expect that it wouldn't survive the whole time. But then that's how I ended up using it. Everything outside is actually a separate video, and I had to copy all of the motion from her going up the stairs and then put it into another file and re-render the whole thing and then mask between them because there's no way I was going to make that expansive in and outside using this scene build. So it's actually a fully separate video file, but it turned out good, so I'm not complaining. Always been one for Fallout. That's right. I didn't read it till now. Only reason I read it was because a friend of mine couldn't finish it because they didn't want it to end. So like there were a couple of chapters from the end of the book and they just stopped. And so I said, well, okay, I'll read it, and when I get there, then we can read it together. Well, I got about like 3 chapters into the book, and then he's like, I broke down and I read it anyway. So, but I liked it, so it's fine.
I'm pretty much I'm reading Murky number 7 right now, and I'm kind of at that point too. I got 1 chapter left, and I don't want to read it because when it's over, it's over. And I've enjoyed it so much.
So to make this efficient, I deleted everything that wasn't visible in any specific shot. All right, see you later, Jurassic. Thank you.
See you.
Good luck.
For the derby.
Seems I think Forge of Empires is later than Fallout. Yeah, but everything has an abbreviation. Go and just Google any abbreviation online. You'll find like 100 different abbreviations for it. I've always wanted to see some kind of animation on Arbu. So the funny thing with Arbu was I was playing Fallout 3 at the same time I was reading the book. So I was seeing a lot of connections as I was reading. Mm-hmm. One of them was Arbu. I read the Arbu chapter, and the next day I hit that spot in Fallout 3.
Cannibals.
And so the first thing I did was I know what's going to happen here because I read it in that book. So I just I found everything and I murdered everybody. I'm like, nah, no. You're all going to burn. That's what she did.
But the old man was good.
I can't remember. I remember in my brain seeing that one person and then just death after that.
Yeah, there was. If you play out the story, it plays out very similar.
So for this, that's why each of these shots now are just they're the pieces of the scene build, and then I just deleted everything I didn't need at the time. Oh yeah, this is the one I kind of skipped over. This is just the whatever you call it, over Mayor's office. But that's pretty basic. Then there are a couple throwaways that I did. I just needed extra fill-in shots, so these are just shots of some random person's bedroom, because that's not creepy. There's this one, just some people on couches and stuff. Interesting tidbit, the people that are talking right here, it's actually the video from my 10,000 subscriber bit where it's me talking at the beginning using Rainbow Dash as a stand-in, and it's just that slowed down. Each of them is using a different piece of that, and then I just put that on a sitting animation just so it looked like they were talking and moving. And then this pony back here is actually going to show like a plate and spoon, or a plate and knife. She is the same one that played the in this video, she is the waitress. She's the same pony. So I just needed a random background pony, and I like throwing little things in like that. And then she's reading Daring Do and Duck and Cover.
It's a good combination.
But she's also just sad because she doesn't know how to read.
Aw. It's okay, she's cute. She'll get by.
Yeah, I just put some random books in different places. I've replaced her textures with dirty textures.
Yeah, I was gonna say, she looks like she needs a shower.
Other little funny thing, here. She was in the way and causing a shadow, so I just going whoop. That was actually the first shot done out of anything because it was just simple. Yeah, or even here, it's weird, but it just worked for the angle. Oh, on this one, the little audio bit that's here, I rendered 9 different versions of the same thing with different levels of audio, and then I played with it in post to change what one was shown to make it look like the audio was moving with the waveform. It actually worked, and I'm happy it did. Hello, Darth. One of the first main stories I read, the first past sins. Yeah, my first story ever was My Little Dashie, but that's not really a good story. It's just a well-known story. And then my second story was Past Sins. I actually have a printed copy, and I believe
still not read it.
I think I got it. I might have it signed. Because, I forgot his name now, but he was a community guest at one of the conventions, and Jake Wyman, that we know, was at a same signing with him that they had to do. And no, I don't think I got it signed. I think I forgot to bring it that day, and so I didn't actually get it signed. It doesn't really matter that much, but I have a printed copy of it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Mercury number 7 the one story that kicks you in the balls and never lets you up? Maybe.
I mean, I could answer that question. Mercury number 7.
It's really edgy, Darth.
Is a story that's going to make you very depressed a lot of the time, but because it is like just every awful thing you can imagine, and a bunch of awful things you can't imagine happens to this character. But it's so well written and so well told, and the characters are just, they're good characters, that it is very engaging.
Oh, I thought for a second there I had a continuity error.
One chapter away from finishing it.
I do have a continuity error.
But you do.
Right here? Mm-hmm. This thing is on a crate. It's not there.
That's it. Delete the video.
Yep, I have to take it down now. Another tidbit, the models, if you want the jiggles to work right, because they don't change sizing with everything else, you can only change them by about 10% of their size, otherwise the jiggle bones break down or don't work right, or get too big or too small. So if you shrink a model down, the hair stays the original size, it gets much bigger, and inverse for when a model gets bigger, it looks like the hair gets smaller. To make Pip smaller than them, I dropped her by about 10% and increased them by 10%. Therefore, I was still working in that good range, but it was able to make a much bigger difference between the two groups. What else is there? Oh yeah, she's not actually typing because it's like I had to put this angle because I'm like she's not gonna be hitting those keys. So yeah, this whole animation of this thing, I had to add the bones to do it myself. It did not exist.
I mean, that's impressive. I didn't realize you went through all that trouble.
Well, not only that, but I had to add all the little extra bits in here, like going in, spinning.
I'll bring her back. I promise.
But it was as close as possible to the original and how it worked.
I thought maybe they managed to port the original animation. That's really good.
No, I mean, it was all like A to B robotic motion, but there's just so many subtleties of like here when it's going back that it actually backward spins up, not much, but a little bit, and it pulls it out just in here, and then it was complex, but I'm happy with how it turned out. Here.
It's me. Oh no, not that one.
So I think the one thing I think is funny about this shot is two of the ponies that are running in here are Pegasus.
No. I mean, it's not impossible, and I'm surprised there's never been a story about a Pegasus born in a vault. I feel like that should be a thing.
But it also shows to me that like you have to have it somewhere in your bloodline for it to work.
Yeah.
And because they had mentioned before with the cakes about having somebody in your gene line, that you would think that somebody would have at some point had a gene that was recessive and carried through. So, and unless you say Pegasus is all recessive, but
yeah, no, I mean it clearly isn't, or otherwise the cakes wouldn't have had a Pegasus kid.
Oh, here's another funny tidbit, or not tidbit, a goofy thing. We were talking during the stream that only what is on camera matters and everything off camera doesn't matter.
Oh, jeez.
So this is actually how it rendered, but it didn't matter because it was off camera. So she just kind of goes.
As the land of Equestria was burned alive.
I do not know the all streams are up on YouTube. Yeah, so yeah, if anybody's here new or whatever, everything that I've streamed is on YouTube. I have a second channel, but it is.
Yes, hello, hey.
It is spoilery, so it is only if you don't mind having jokes watched out of context and the ends of videos shown before the beginning. It'll ruin different stuff just because it's stuff being worked on. That's why this one I'm not doing that because I advertise on YouTube. I don't want to spoil it by accident for people. The stuff I'm working on. So, I don't think there's anything else to show on this. Not that I can think of. So, but yeah, like I really like doing the full scene builds, and I normally will have one after this, like this one is, where it is the full scene build. It is everything, because it's not going to save memory if I completely delete this shot, because all the other shots have all those models anyway. But it means that if I decide to change a camera angle after I've already cleaned things out, which doesn't happen often, but it will, I have a place that I can go and grab everything from without having to go and pick and choose through shots. This is a nice central place for it. So normally I'll do that, and then I'll just kind of like shut that part down, not even show it. Hello, Crimson. New to your Twitch, but you have some pretty good work. Followed you on YouTube for a while. Thank you, appreciate it. Oh, and thanks for the follow here too. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm streaming here twice a week. I'm actually streaming again tomorrow for some Halo stuff. But as long as you don't mind spoilers, because that is a lot of what's on here. Not today, but there will be. Because I spend probably about 90 or 95% of the time that I spend working on projects is on here. So you can basically see the beginning to end of most of stuff. Do you remember the part of the story where Rarity got obliterated and she sent Applejack to safety or something? No, she sent Fluttershy to safety. I'm probably misremembering, but remember something like that happening. It'll definitely crash for that, but I can show you something. I still want to go back and finish this. I want to, but I probably won't, just because I know me. Want and ability are two different things. I think it's in this one. No, Applejack was the one that survived. Well, yeah, I think she's... Rainbow Dash survived. It's left left open. So I had, years ago, started a project that was recreating or bringing an animated version of all the Ministreamares bits, and I had her scene in there. I just haven't. I kind of still want to finish this just because it won't be. It's not a difficult video. It's just a ton of scene building. Because everything required something almost 100% completely different from the next shot. But I've done it before. Australia was that way too. It was trailer type videos are very much about taking these very, very unique and different shots and placing them within like 1 second increments. Nice thing with this was that each shot was going to be about like 9 seconds long? Or not 9 seconds. Yeah, it was 9 seconds long. Or at least that's what I had it to here too, because that was how long it took to go between two main beats of the song. And so by doing that, if I was doing 1 second for a scene build, it would be a very short video, but now I can do a 4-minute video, but with if I'm doing that by 12 seconds, a lot less work. But it was going to be a lot of work, and I never just finished it. So like this has got the well, you only can see it from this angle, but there's the crack. It's a floating texture. And we got Twilight Maripony. This is one of my favorite scene builds from it. Ignore the brighter background. It normally would be a lot darker than that, but that's Apple Snack after he had murdered the guy. And you can even see the little reference to Scooter's Fluttershy doing your speech. I was going to be putting a lot more people in the audience when in the final, just again have better shit. Applejack in her factory. And the reason I did this shot was because the song has the sound of a metal on metal tang sound with the beat for a while, and I was going to use that tang with the mallets coming down. But I mean, like, I put a lot of detail into like the background here of like these little robots. I was happy with that turn out. Anyway, Rainbow with her orbs, and there's a reason for that shot. Fluttershy when she was gonna blow up. Rarity Soul Splitting, that was where I kind of stopped working on it for a while. I am passionate about the project. It was just the nice thing with working on some different projects is I like scene building, but you spend a lot of time scene building and then you kind of burn out on it, and you do some animating and you burn out on that, do some lip syncing, very quickly burn out on that, and do some lighting, so you can jump around a lot. The problem with this was two reasons. One, it was almost all scene building, so I burned out on that. It was hard to keep going. And then two, it was I was building these sections based on pieces of the song, but I really didn't have the full plan set. And without the plan, I really didn't know what to do. And it's hard because I couldn't put it under a single save file. All these scene builds take up so much memory that I can only do so many of them before I have to make a separate save file. So I needed a method to build the scene outside of here, and I really don't have a good way to do that and plan that. So it was just, It felt like to me I was running into a wall, and I just kept hitting the wall, hoping that eventually I'd get through it. And eventually I just gave up. So, but I have a bunch of these scene builds. I think the second one here only has one of them, one or two, and it's just Rarity in her office. And I this picture, that's what this shot is just this shot for that picture. But I was going to make other ones like it, but I just never got around to it, so I just kind of copy pasted it. So she likes that picture a lot. But yeah, time, Miss Rarity, the mayor behind the Ministry of Magic image that does things and stuff. So, but yeah, this was going to be just a shot for that. I don't think I had the music in this one. A lot of this was going to be that during the first beat of the song, it was going to do a further shot, and then the second beat of it was going to do a close-up where it was, then you're going to get more of the emotion from somebody. And it was supposed to be that it's, some of them were based on actual things. I have sticky notes in my books from where all the Ministry Mirrors bits, so I could get exact references. We reread it again during a book club meeting, and that was where we did that. Animation takes a lot of time and takes a certain level of passion to see a project through the end. My question is, the passion also your profession? No. I work in quality. I love my job, and it pays very, very well. If I were to go into animation for a job, I'd actually be paid less. So that's great, because then I have no motivation to do it. And it's then I keep it as a hobby to be fun. And YouTube pays for itself. It's a hobby, like all the software that I get. Like I recently bought the Video Copilot optical flares one, and it was using money from Twitch and YouTube and stuff, so that I'm not pulling it out of my money. I'm actually I'm reinvesting it. So that's why the support from everybody for subscriptions and ad revenue and all that is great, because I can feel more comfortable putting things in to make things better, which is great. Because the editing with the optical flares bit makes it looks way better in the new video. But in this video, the coolest shot we never finished. That is this one. I thought it was turning out okay. Well, thanks, Blurred. I appreciate the subscription too, now that I bring it up, I guess. Let's go with one of my favorite people. Throw enough shit at the wall, eventually someone's going to stay. No, I live on that. I live on the idea of don't try to... thank you, peanut butter hooves. That took my brain a second. Thanks for the follow. No, I love the idea of, instead of trying to make trying to make it stick to begin with, about just make something that's halfway there and then see what sticks, and do that. That's how I live my life now. It's how I do my job. Because it's better to start taking the first steps forward than to push it off to hope to hit perfection. But no, so there's a part of the song where things slow down, and I wanted to kind of show the original, like the real world, I guess, or because all this is going to be based on the original timeline, and I wanted to show the world from the other timeline. So there was going to be a shot that zooms in on this picture, and by going through a hallway, and I can't remember, there was a certain shot that would have worked, and then when it hit this picture, it was going to back off, and everything was going to be no longer fine. It was going to be that world 200 years later, but based on the reference point of the same picture, and frozen in time. And then it was going to return to the picture to put us back in the present. And so that's what this is supposed to be. I don't know if the lighting is set with this. No, the lights aren't done with it. And didn't finish the other shots. It's going to then continue backwards. So there's like this person and just this blank pony and whatever. And then it was going to return afterwards. But never got it done. Yes, the manor map. I needed a building and it worked. But I'm really happy with how some of these shots turned out. So there's a rail, there's a model or a model that is just following in a straight line through everything, and then I'm using it as a basis, and then I'm just moving the camera around its rail. It actually worked pretty good. I thought I had some lighting set up in here, but apparently I don't. Thanks for the follow, Acid. But I love this shot. There's just this crazy person and this guy jumping through the door, and it was going to be with very, very high depth of field throughout the whole thing too. And I just loved it. I loved that idea for things, about having a video about the past, but then having it reference the future, and then going back to the past again, as the song was drifting off for a little bit, and then the song brought itself back. And I was so excited for that. Plus, this scene, while complicated, would have been 40 seconds of the video, so it would have taken up a large portion of it. But yeah, I'm sad I never got around to finishing it. But I would need to have like a sit down and like a staring at the screen to try to figure out what the plan was for it before I went too much further. And I just I don't know. I'll get maybe one there one day. I want to focus on, after this next video, videos that are 20 to 30 seconds long instead of anything that's much longer than that, because it just takes so long and it's demotivating, and I want to start putting out much stuff at a much faster rate for a little while, even if it's a couple months is the faster rate. Hello, Doodoo. I love saying that. One of the parts I remember the most from when I originally read the book like 5 years ago was when Pip got her cutie mark ripped off, and she begged Velvet to help her restore her cutie mark. Yeah, well, that was why the book was good. It had so much. There's so much emotion or something to it. Well, nice subscription, Derp. Herp Derp. Herp Derp. Appreciate it. Rainbow Dash sits with pride. Herp derpity derp 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 derp. Thanks for the follow, Starry. Appreciate it. This friendship is magic is 200 years after MLP. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think FOE is 200 years afterwards, I believe. Yeah, sorry, Crimson, I'm kind of going backwards here. Yeah, I can relate to burnout. I went to school for animation. Animation can be quite tasking at times. As much as I would love to continue animation, I decided to stick to 3D modeling. Yeah, do what you love. I like video making. I don't like animating. I like making things. I like having a creative output. This just works for that output. But I don't actually like animating that much. But the whole process around it, I do like. And so it's okay. And that's why streaming is fun, because I can essentially just do stupid stuff in the middle and just break up the monotony of it. Okay, so that shoulder. Oh, you know what? Ha! Fixed. Is there anything else I need to do in this shot? I feel like her eyes are a little too far apart. Oh, that'd probably be why I have convergence all the way up. So this one, like some of these, if you move them a little bit, it's not changing the number enough to actually save it. So even though I'm moving it, it's just bouncing back. You have to move it enough to lock it in, but now it's covering up here, so I'll just use drop to move it back into position. It's weird. SFM. It doesn't like small numbers, but again, that's 32-bit program. Rathlos says, yes. I do actually, after I'm fully done with this video, I'm probably gonna work on one of the Toby videos. I have for those that haven't heard, because I had the Toby model and I want to do the Adventures with Keith, which is the Keith stories that Ellis had said, but I'm going to be using the Pookie Pookie. And since Pookie ends in K-E-I and Keith starts with K-E-I, it's going to be Adventures with Pookeith. And I'm going to be doing it with a similar vibe to the Adventures with Bill from Red Green show. So I have an idea or there's so much audio to work with, and I already have an idea for the first one. Your typing knowledge is pretty good for someone who isn't actually a fan. Isn't actually a fan of what? I'm a fan of a lot of things. Oh, a fan of animation. Yeah, sorry, I kind of caught that. It was my brain going backwards. It's not I love animation. I just the process of doing it, I wouldn't want to do it as a job. I don't love it, but I love being able to make something, and that is a medium. Perfect. But if I were to have a job in animation, I would only be doing the animation. I wouldn't be doing the cinematography. I wouldn't be doing the video or the lighting or the scene or anything. I would just be doing the animation, and then I wouldn't like it. It's taking the other parts of it that to me make a whole that I love, and so that's why I wouldn't want to do that. I like what I'm doing now. And if I keep up at a good pace with it, I can make something out of it as it is. I'm not worried about it though. I have a good paying job. What a coincidence! I'm playing Monster Hunter as we speak. We're actually talking about going back to playing that a bit again because it's just every time I go and make a Monster Hunter video, I want to go and play more. I used to main bow. Then I did, because of the helicopter joke with Rathlos, I started doing Insect Glaive, and I really like that. So I've been using that most. You can mind them at times, totally understand. But that's what I love about streams though, is being able to just like you just kind of like grab the face and you just go like, or like do some like, well, that's too much. You just start doing some stupid faces and I'll just do it off the top of my head, but I love being able to do that stuff, and that breaks up the monotony. Doing it, if I'm working on my own on the weekend, sometimes when I'm really getting close to something, or if I found something new that's a passion, like I love learning, and SFM has, because I've been learning, I learned a lot already on it. Sometimes it feels monotonous because there's just nothing more to learn, but every time now and then I'll find something new, and then I'll just grasp onto it and I'll just work for hours on end off this new thing. So like this weekend, because I got Video Copilot's optical flares, once I got the renders, I was like, ooh, and I just played around with the lighting for a while, trying to make things look pretty. Kind of want to add like what would you call? There is one down there. Right here. So to be careful, because I'm talking about contrast, and so if I add volumetrics, it can get rid of that contrast. But at the same time, it's not. It adds just a kind of a cool lighting effect. So I kind of like that. I think I'm going to light up her arm a little bit more, and then I'm going to start playing with it in Photoshop. I'm going to open that now because it takes a minute. All right, see you later. Yeah, Halo Infinite got delayed, but I don't mind. Life is long. If it means that I have to wait a little longer to get a game that I'm going to enjoy more, it's fine. I'll eventually get to play it, and then I'll spend the same amount of time playing it, and then move on to something else, whether or not that's a month or two earlier than the other time. It doesn't bother me. But some games will not care, and they'll rush it to get it out. And because they need the revenue to come in, to have a game developer, especially one that's publicly owned, which would be like Microsoft, to delay things means that they're telling investors that we're not ready to push things up. That's scary for investors. So the fact that they did that means they want to make a good product. So I'm glad to hear that. I think there's like a left light, right? There it is. So my brain's like, ugh. Thanks for the follow, Dragon. Raihan Dragon. I salute you. Twilight's apparently saluting too. Nah, that doesn't actually look right. Maybe if I go from the top a little more? I'm trying to like have her hoof pop out a little bit more. Yeah, that might work. I think I'm gonna do that and then one more like it. I have seen people play Fall Guys. Actually, I saw Blurtable play Fall Guys a little bit ago, and I also follow RT Game, and so like when they were playing it too. Yeah, feel free to ask your questions. Sorry, sometimes I'm catching from then I go from the bottom up. No, it looked interesting, but also looked very repetitive for now. So I don't think it's a game that I'll be like jumping on anytime soon. But it's definitely interesting looking, and it's nice seeing another party game in the market. Have you worked in Maya or 3ds Max? If so, do you prefer SFM for animating? By the way, sorry for the animation questions. First time catching you live. No, the purpose of the stream is to ask questions. I started these originally because I was getting a lot of like individual questions of, can you help me with this, can you help me with that? And it's really hard to do one-on-one when you get a lot of those questions. So I started doing the streaming because then if you have a question, come on here and I can then explain it live. It's a lot easier to do that. And then if other people have the same question, which good chances are if you have that question, somebody else does too, I can help multiple people at once. So yes, to ask as many questions as you want, whether they're SFM related or not. But no, I have not used Maya. 3ds Max I touched, but it was like a decade ago, and it was for other stuff completely, and it was ripped copy and whatever. So not really though. I play with Blender a little bit, but I'm not a modeler. I'm going to do more animating, but I've never used them for animating. I prefer SFM for animating, not because it's better or anything, but because I have a huge library of models that are all free. I don't have to pour them all in. I fully understand it, and I'm getting old enough that I'm getting stubborn on that stuff. So I like the environment. The render times are much, much lower, so I can do previews and render things out and get a good idea of what I'm working in much earlier. Plus, when it comes to ponies are cartoonish, and SFM is actually pretty good at the cartoon thing. If I went to realistic with the ponies, then I feel like I'm taking away from the cartoony parts of what they are, and then I'm just going to start falling into Uncanny Valley. So I kind of like them, especially with a lot of the updated models, to have some of the extra functionality, because they still look the same, just better working. So yeah, for what I'm doing, I prefer SFM. Plus, I can make something in like an hour, and where if I did the Blender and stuff, I could probably take me hours and hours to make something really simple. Like I said, I don't like animating. I like video creation, and something that can help me make video creations faster, or just videos faster. Perfect. I used to do. It's been a while since I've done it, but I would try to. I start like say I put something on Twitter, and then I would try to respond and build a story live on Twitter based on feedback. and this was years ago. And so I try to make things as fast as I can in SFM and then just throw a crappy version of it out there. And it was fun. And it actually helps teach you to do the animating and everything faster. Because you don't have to, you don't just improve by doing things perfect. You can improve by doing things wrong. And that's what the intent of that was. It was fun. I used to do 30-minute challenges too, but those were difficult. It's hard to do an animation in 30 minutes. Okay, I'm just kind of picking a couple spots here that I want to light a little bit more. Normally I wouldn't go into this detail with video, but this isn't video, so I'm able to put some more of this effort in. If it's video, it's harder to do this kind of detail because it's going to cause problems. As soon as they move, it's going to destroy some of the lighting. A little bit there. I think that's good. I think that's good. We'll go with that and see how it turns out. This is only 720 though, so I have to update this. You can only render. No, I don't want to open up Alex. You can only render things out at whatever the preview video is, unless you use posters, but posters don't do bloom. So I have to. This is 720 since the smaller preview means more efficient of process running. I had it running at 720, but I want it in 1080, so I have to exit out. Yeah, I heard they're going to be adding more for Fall Guys. I wouldn't be surprised. It's been very successful so far, for good reason. Well, they had a very good Steam advertisement, and they had something that was cute and with large amounts of people that were coming in, and had popular streamers doing it. It exploded. I liked on. I had to wait for the process. They had on their. Why do you crash? I'm unsure. They had in there something about like, sorry, we didn't have enough jelly beans in the jar. I thought that was funny. But you can't anticipate that. You're not going to pay for servers that are going to have 90% more capacity than you need. That's expensive. They're going to try to fit what they think it's going to be, and they had way more than that. See if I can do this without crashing it again. We're going to just delete this shot because we know what I'm doing now. So I got to wait till this number gets to 256 so I can export it. But also I don't think... Yeah, We'll try one other thing. Something is not right. Whoever runs the Twitter account just posts me. As long as it works. I mentioned you worked in quality. Is that for a studio of any kind? No. I work in aerospace. I used to work in trucking. Then they paid me crap and treated me like crap. So my sister had worked in medical doing documentation work, and they needed somebody that just knew how to use a computer, and they didn't care if I had experience or not. So I went over there, got paid a lot more, and learned documentation. They were like, you're way better at this than you need to be. Do you want to work in quality compliance? We need somebody over there. So I jumped into there, got about a year of experience. Then they didn't give me my promotion to that title for a year like I was supposed to, and wouldn't back pay me. So I said, screw you, and somebody that I got to know at that job got me my current job. And so... it's just been going drastically upwards really quick. So in a good way. But no, it's quality as in I'm a quality analyst, so I'm the one. I work at the system level, so I work with a lot of the procedures and everything, and it's just about helping build. I do a lot of the IT stuff, so I'm helping build like SharePoint sites and applications for ensuring that certain jobs that people need to be doing are done better, more efficiently, that kind of stuff. So it's fun. I do enjoy it. The game is so successful though that the servers literally couldn't handle players. Yeah, but then that's not their fault. I mean, they couldn't have anticipated that. But what kind of game is that not normal? What is successful, for example? But it's like I said, it's you buy rent out an amount of server space or initially that you think is going to be for how much it is, and you're going to have a buffer range for how many people you think are going to play it, and they probably base that on certain like statistics and whatever, because if they have to pay for that space. So if they're not going to go, well, we're just going to buy triple the amount we need, because then they're dumping a lot of money for no reason. And especially since when a game first comes out, it's going to have a huge influx and then it's going to die down. So they want to rent it temporarily, then move on to their permanent servers over time. But if they rent out those large amounts, they're just spending lots and lots of money. So when the game hits hard like that, and they're not anticipating it, then they have to start going out and renting more of the space to take up. But eventually the servers again will die down. So if they go and buy all this equipment and as a permanent thing, they're now going to have servers that are doing nothing, and it was a waste of money. So it's they can do the best they can, but sometimes it just happens where things go nuts and they couldn't have seen it coming. It's how did they handle it after that, and they're doing what they can. It's not going to be instant, for sure. Okay, so I'm going to try. We're going to try this. I'm going to render it as a sequence. And if that doesn't work, okay. If that didn't work, I was going to do I was going to drop the quality one level. But because I'm doing it this way, I have to give it a second because some of the facial features will take a couple frames to get into position. It's mostly game right now on Twitch, 300,000 viewers. Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's actually just kind of fun to watch because, like, Blur to Blah, like the one when you were doing your stream the other day, and you had that 3-team thing with the egg, and the whole time you were just trying to get one egg, and then when you finally had the one, you like ran around with it in a circle, and then it landed back where you found it, and it had me rolling because it was just so random and stupid, and so stuff like that. It's a good game for just random stupid stuff to happen, and it's also big on giving you small little bits of dopamine. Like if you play one big long game, it's about giving this tiny payoffs that then have this big payoff at the end. But that's a game where it just keeps giving you little payoffs, and like it keeps giving you like another piece of candy to keep you there. So it's a perfect storm. Okay, so this is going to be... I'll usually actually do this method for rendering pictures sometimes because it's just kind of a safer... We made new emotes, that's why I have all those down there. All right, so let's see what we can do here. So first, vibrance. Levels, photo filter, but I'm going to disable that one for now because it defaults to orange, and then there's a high pass, but I'm going to wait on that. So vibrance I normally will bump up because vibrance is about adding, like, it just enhances colors. But I feel that it makes SFM's coloration, and I don't know what Twitch is going to do for quality, but it just makes all the colors pop more and feel more realistic. And when it comes to ponies and their pastelness, to me, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. So I think I will... Yeah, I'll do that. Alright, and then levels. So normally what I do with this shows how the bright areas, and the best way to do high contrast is to squeeze down those outside lines to fit more of the stuff in, get rid of some of the junk on the outside, but within reason. Sorry, I'm going back here. It's guys used to work in the CAF. I modeled for them, and Akeda. I use some of the modeling for training purposes. Nice, cool. Yeah, I don't touch any of the cool stuff in aerospace. I only hear about it. But it's still fun. I enjoy what I do. Yeah, the jelly beans. I think they're supposed to be like jelly beans. So in here, so you can see here, if I bring this down. So this is showing that if I very quickly go to here, this is saying where is true black. So if I bring this down, it's going to start making more and more things black, because I'm taking the majority of this stuff and now putting it past black. So I don't want to go too far down with this, because otherwise I'm going to lose detail. So it's going to maybe drop it a little bit, but not too much. But here, I can actually bring this up quite a bit, because it's going to take, as I go up, this is going to be the stuff that's going to become pure white. And so everything past this is just legitimately pure white. But it's a lot gentler to get to that point. And a lot of this is probably the rocket right here. But I don't want to go all the way up with that. I'm going to go a little bit. I just put a little bit. Then this is going to be the in-between. So I want to make this fairly easy to see. A little bit higher contrast. So maybe like that. Oops. Yeah, that pops. Okay. And then the photo filter is because I am going to see if... I think I put the cooling filter 80 on there at 10% on some of the other shots. No, it's not going to work here because it's too bright. It works better in a dark scene, but this is just, I have it too bright. So then the secondary thing I'll normally do is a high pass filter, and this one's a little bit more complicated. So I'm going to duplicate. I am going to other high pass. Drop that just down to 1. Invert. And then I can't remember which of these I grab. I think it was soft light. So what this does is a neat thing where it softens edges. So a high pass is about accentuating the edge, and then I'm inverting it, which kind of then softens it, and then I'm using it as an overlay. So when you look at this, it's really just showing you those edges, but when I use it as an overlay, then I'm really, like if I go to linear light, it really blurs it. But you have to pick the right one here. And I believe it was soft light. And then I'll go through with, there we go, with the eraser, and I'll erase it on the eyes because I want sharp, crisp eyes, but I don't want the rest of it. And so if I zoom in here, it's hard to see, but it just gets rid of some of that softness.
Yeah, you haven't turned off the horses yet.
Almost.
Yeah, I know.
I think we're almost done.
I don't know if you know this, but Giraffe can hold a conversation.
Giraffes?
Draft.
Oh, I was like, did the zoo call you?
Our friend. No, it's Draft.
Your friend. Don't.
Your friend.
Hello, Playtend. So I backed it up like this because I want to see how the contrast works from a distance like that.
Not enough blur.
So what I can do here I'm just gonna get rid of the other thing for right now. We are going to do one of those outlines because it's more of I just want to see if it works. There it is. I was like, where's my wand? Ooh. It's gonna be hard with that. Let's do 16. Is it higher or lower that's better for this? Lower. So I want to try to get much of the stuff around her as possible.
What are you trying to do? Like cropping?
An outline. So you'll see some videos kind of do it. It helps create like kind of an artificial what do you call it? Accentuation, contrast.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be the hard part though, the glasses.
Oh, you're just doing this for the thumbnail?
Yeah. This is all this is.
Yeah, it's like, for a second there, I'm like, he can't be doing this frame for frame.
Yes.
He's not that insane.
I have tried doing that on one thing because it was the editing I needed to do was there's like some errors and I couldn't do it in a video format, but I ended up just not doing anything with it.
See, I will say right off the bat, this program seems to be doing that a lot better than GIMP does it.
But I'm just doing a rough first pass on it.
It might just because it's the hard contrast, but between the background and Twilight.
But then like here, where's my? There we go. Kind of a character focus on live camera for camera. Type of setting. Yeah, when I'm going for, I've done this a little bit with like Rathos and stuff. You'll see a lot of people on YouTube thumbnails will put this like outline. Oops. Oh, okay. They'll put an outline, like cut somebody out of a frame and then add an artificial outline around them. And the reason they do that is because when you're working with, oh, this is going to be a fun one to try to figure out. When you're working with, oh, I'm going the wrong direction with this. I am. A small thumbnail like that, it helps accentuate and just pull things out of the shot, and it stands out a lot, and it just makes things look artificial. And you might think, well, maybe or artificial. I don't want artificial. No, you do. If it seems unrealistic, sometimes that's a better product, or a better going to sell it better.
I want realism in my cartoon horses, sir.
I don't. I want cartoon in my cartoon horses.
I never.
I don't care about getting this too close. I just care about getting close to like the obvious stuff done, because I can fix it in post. This is where I don't think it's going to work very well, because those glasses are just awkward, and highlighting around them is going to be excessive. But a thumbnail is immensely important. Okay, so we'll say that's good. Select inverse, mask. So now she's kind of weird. Well, kind of. I want to duplicate. Now I want to mask. So now I have a version of her that's separate. And what that is useful for is now I can click it and go outer glow. And
You should put a juice box in her.
I'm right now going to do this because I want to figure out where my areas are. Because the highlights should be pretty consistent with the outline of her. Not anything else. So there's like a little dot here, a little dot there, that kind of stuff. So I think for the most part that fixed it.
Oops, he's so angry.
Okay, so there's still one little spot right here. Okay. So
Looks
now,
like a Persona 4 character now.
well, I just did red because it stands out more. So we can do white's usually the best one.
Seems dull. White feels dull. I almost liked it better when she was rated like purple.
Well, it's more about getting her to stand out compared to the rocket. Because imagine this picture.
The rocket's
This
white,
big.
but the rocket's white, and now our outline's white. That makes her stand in more with the rocket.
No. If anything, it doesn't change anything in the rocket, but it helps pull her out. So I just wanted to see how that would look. Problem is, shrinking this down, it doesn't do the outline correctly normally unless you render it out. Because it's trying to, it knows how wide it should be while the image wouldn't. Like here, I'm changing this value multiple numbers, but it ticks over at certain points. I'm thinking that because of those glasses is not a good idea too. If it wasn't for those glasses, I think it would be fine. But because of them, unless, oh, we can maybe do, what if I did like a black outline? No, that kind of feels weird. Yeah, it feels weird.
I don't think there was anything realistic about the first 3 iterations of the show. They were weird they were potato ponies is what they were. Especially Gen 1.
It was just the art style that the artist came up with at the time. Lauren Foss came up with a different style.
Yeah, she came up with something that didn't look like potatoes.
I know, but that was the art style at that time. I mean, that was like, what, the 70s or something?
The man didn't look like a potato.
I know, but if you made the current ponies back in the 70s, they probably wouldn't have liked it because it just doesn't fit the style and the aesthetic of that time.
They really like potatoes.
Maybe they do. Do you know if they liked potatoes in it?
Yes.
Brighten that up a little bit. French fries. They should have all been French fry hair.
Yes.
See, if Aqua Teen Hunger Force was around then.
Yes. Exactly.
I think that might actually be good. I mean, I could add some like lens flares all over it just to go like J.J. Abrams. So the optical flare one that I got, there's one of the flares that looks just like the ones from Star Trek, and it's called JJ. So for J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
Well, Jay anyway. I just thought that was funny. It had to be. There's no reason they wouldn't otherwise. Okay. So this is going to be... YouTube.
all the lens flares.
So I want to see what the export looks like. And I have to do in JPEG because YouTube's size limits don't let you do PNG.
Makes sense. JPEG's far more compressed. And it still looks good as long as you don't ever try to resize it. Don't resize JPEGs, kids.
So that size is fine. I can't really make it smaller than this in the preview. Oh, I kind of can. Oh, is it the biggest I'm going to get? There we go.
Look at all those horses. And that lizard.
I still feel like Twilight needs to stand out more. Actually, I might have a way to do that.
You're gonna put socks on. Your silence is deafening.
No, I cut her out, so I can just change her colors. That might be a bit too bright.
You could set
I think
her,
that works.
I was gonna say you could set her on fire. That'd make her stand out.
But I kind of want to. I don't want to permanently do that change. But it's gonna. I can't remember. There's a way I thought to link an item to the item below it. You know what we're gonna do? We're going to just go the safe route. We're gonna duplicate. Boom. Boom. There. Voila, done. So make sure it's refreshed. So I think that stands out more. Yeah, you can just see her a lot better on that. I think that'll work. Cool. All right, now I'm gonna catch up with what you guys are saying. Everything with Photoshop is subscription based. Best thing about Creative Cloud, but it's Creative Cloud. Yeah, well, I don't mind paying for it because again, with Patreon and Twitch and stuff, it allows me to use the better tools that I know how to use, and everybody in the community is helping me do it. So that's it. That's why I don't mind it. I don't like being I have a software background. I don't want to pirate stuff because then that kind of means I'm like taking money from the people that were like me. So so I don't mind it very much. Yeah, it's expensive, but also it's very powerful and it's very useful. So it doesn't mind. Or I don't mind it. Kind of weird character on live focus the camera kind of yeah. By the way, okay, blah blah blah. 10 best lens flares. Yes, I like the Audio Copilot ones. And I'm being very subtle about it. I'm not going J.J. Abrams on like lens flares everywhere. Very, very strong point lighting or distance lighting of small. I'm just putting a little bit because it just makes it feel more realistic and real good. Favorite thing about the lens flares is his wife told him to tone down the ones he did for the second film. Good. I love the lens flares though, but you can go a little overboard for sure. Or their intentions were to keep their anatomy of a horse. Yeah, no, I can understand that. I mean, they kept 4 legs for this one. And I don't know if I see on the stream again. Yeah, cool, see like crazy. And I am going to be done here too. I did the picture, which is fun. So that is good. I am. I don't know what we're gonna do Friday then. I think probably going to do maybe start this Toby thing, or if I can think of something else short to do Pony, I might start that too.
Did you mention Wednesday's stream?
Yeah, I did before, but I can mention again. Yeah, Wednesday tomorrow we're doing Halo 3. If you want to join, we're doing it from like 7 to 10, whatever this time is for you. So this will be the middle of it. And it should be stupid. He's going to be doing it too, and we're just going to murder him constantly.
I believe it.
By accident.
Yeah.
So yeah. Before you go, did you see the new TFH goat character Shanty?
Oh, the Lauren Faust finally added the goat character.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I didn't know what you're saying with TFH. Yeah, I saw that. It was neat.
Is it supposed to be derpy? Because that's what I was hoping.
Oh, Blurred, that was the preview picture for it. All I have to do is the one establishing shot, and that's it. Like, as far as for what I care about, I was going to originally do an end bit where I can put cards on, but I'm just going to utilize the same, or the end bit that we had, and I'm just extending it. I am going to just leave Twilight doing the crazy thing. I'm probably just going to have her breathe a little bit, because I think heavy breathing would be funny. I already have the stock footage, the lens flare's done, most of it rendered. Just essentially almost ready to go. I will be still putting up the live stream highlights on Friday and have that video out the following Friday. So I hope to have it all rendered, edited, and stuff by close to this weekend, and then I'll put it on Patreon for everybody there, and then have it out in a full week. So if you want to see it early, follow my Patreon. It's actually you can see the live stream highlights right now if you want on there. But if you follow me on there, then when that's available, you'll have it a couple days early, probably almost a week early. I don't have that set up. I probably should, shouldn't I? Do Twitch subscribers get them early too? If you're on the Discord, yes. On the Discord, if you're on Twitch or you boost the server or you're on Patreon, and you have those linked to where Twitch or Discord knows that you're on those, then there's a supporters chat and I post the link there too. But there's no other way I think I can get to like subscribers on Twitch. But yeah, if you're on the Discord, then yes, you will. I know somebody. I don't know if they're still on, but somebody had it where they weren't popping up on there, but they were a subscriber on here. So just make sure the email they're using for Discord is the same one that's on Twitch, because and have it linked. And I'm not sure how that works. So okay, we're all done. Where is? Okay, there's Kid. Yeah, that might 24 hours again. But there's Kitty.
Yay.
So yes. Oh, and hello, Artisan. So yes. Have a good week. See you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna shoot warts. Wart. Sounds weird.